Okay people, so this is just a quick video on the formative assignment. If you want a little bit of extra help, wow, look at that. So the formative, it's called G11 Geometry Worksheet. Alright, it says please complete on graph paper and hand up. I don't know why I read that out. Question 1 is determine the value of the pronumerals in each of the following. I hope you've got it in front of you because I'm just reading off a different screen. Pronumeral, what is that? That's just a variable. Alright, so don't be worried by the term pronumeral. It just means variable. So determine the value of the pronumerals in each of the following. So this first one is that -3, 25 is 4 root 5 units from 1y. Now this is going to be a bit of a video where I'm going to actually go through some theory as well. So what do we have? Well, we've got 2 points, 325, 1y, and 4 root 5 units. When we did this section or did this assignment, you knew 3 bits of information. You knew the distance formula. I'm just going to write down here. Oh, it disappeared. I'm just going to write down here. So you knew the distance formula. So this is the distance between 2 points. x1, y1 and x2, y2. Distance between 2 points D is the square root of x1 take x2 all squared plus y1 take y2 all squared. Alright, that's the distance formula. That comes from Pythagoras theorem, that's why it works, but it basically means if you've got 2 points, you've got a line, you've got 2 points, alright, you call one of them x1, y1, it doesn't matter what, the other one x2, y2, doesn't matter what because you're squaring, and you take the square root of x1 take x2 all squared plus y1 take y2 all squared. So if we look at this, that's one formula. Then we had another one called the midpoint formula. That's if you've got 2 points like this and you want to find m, the one in the middle. So midpoint is equal to x1 plus x2 divided by 2 and y1 plus y2 divided by 2. Then finally we did the slope. So the rate at which it's going. How fast is it going? How much does y increase for every increase of x? So slope is equal to y1 take y2 over x1 take x2, or vice versa, it doesn't really matter. So that's the slope formula. You probably generally see it as y2 take y1 or x2 take x1, but it doesn't matter as long as you do it in the same order for the x and the y. Alright, so when we get a question like this, the first thing I always want you to do is draw a diagram. Alright? Draw a diagram. I really want to see diagrams in tests. Please draw diagrams. It is worth the time it takes to do this. It doesn't really take that long. So you've got -325. You don't have to make it look pretty. -325. It doesn't even have to be to scale. But a diagram will help you. So we've got -325. And we've got 1y. We don't know what y is. That's what we want to find out. It's the variable, the thing we don't know. And we know it's 4 root 5 units. So can we use the midpoint formula? Well, we could, but we'd be using y2, we'd be using this value for y, and we don't know what it is, so it actually wouldn't help that much. Could we use the slope? Again, we could, but we'd be using y, so it's not much use, so we're going to use the distance formula. Alright, so our distance is going to equal square root of x1, so decide what you want to call x1 and y1, so I want to call that one that, I'm going to call that x2, y2. Alright, so I'm going to do y1 take y2, which is going to be y take 25 all squared, plus x1 take x2, which is going to be 1 take 3, 1 take 3 all squared. And that distance is going to give you the square root of y take 25 all squared plus 4 squared. Alright, now you know d is actually 4 root 5 in this case because you've been given distance, so 4 root 5 equals that, y take 25 all squared plus 4 squared. Now you could expand, alright, but generally when you have pronumerals or variables within, don't worry about expanding, alright, just don't do it. leave it in that format. You'll see why in a minute. Alright, I'm just going to rub these out slightly so I have a bit more room. Disappear again. Alright, so I'm going to now get rid of this square root sign because I want to get y on its own, so I'm going to need to get y on its own, and I'm going to do that by squaring both sides again. Oh, good. Alright, so I'm going to do that by squaring both sides. So I'm going to do 4 root 5 squared equals, if I square a square root, just making I did that, because I obviously have to do it to that side, you actually cancel the square root sign. Right, so square cancels the square root sign, but it doesn't do anything to this side of the equation. So you get that equals, you cancel the square root sign, that equals that. Alright? Now 4 root 5 squared, that is actually equal to 4 squared times root 5 squared equals y take 25 all squared plus 16. So root 5 squared, again, you cancel the square root and the root, that is a 5, and the root, and you get 4 squared times 5 equals y take 25 all squared plus 16. Now the trick with this is that you could think, oh, okay, I'm going to have to expand that. You don't have to. Alright, always try this, because we'll probably try and give you nice numbers at the moment, because we're not mean. 4 squared, what is 4 squared? 16. 16 times 5 is 64, alright? 16 times 5 is not 64. 16 times 4 is 64, so 16 times 5 is 80. Alright, 80 equals y take, you can see I'm not doing it off solutions, plus 16. Alright, now I want to get this on its own, but I don't want to expand this, so I'm going to get 16 onto this side. So I'm going to take 16 from both sides, take 16, take 16. So I'm going to get 64 equals y take 25%. Now, if you remember your squares, you should know that 64 is actually a perfect square. 8 squared is 64. So what I can do now is square root both sides. If I square root 64 and square root that, the square and the square root will cancel. And I'll get y take 25 equals plus or minus 8. Remember, if you ever square root something, it will equal plus or minus 8, unless it's something like radius, which can never be really negative. So y is going to be 8 plus 25 or negative 8. 25. That's that first part. Alright. I hope that makes sense. You can pause at any time. I'm going to erase all of that. Erase all of that. And keep moving. Question B. Negative 4, 2 is the center of a circle. So again, I'm going to draw a diagram. So it's negative 4, 2. You don't know anything about circles at the moment. With diameter ends 2, 6 and xy. So let's say that's what it looks like. And xy. Find the value. So find the value of the pronumeral, so you're still finding the value of y. Now when you do this, you're going, well, what can I do? Well, you could use the distance formula and find that distance. Alright, how does that help you find y? It doesn't. Don't do that. You could use the slope formula with these 2 points. But again, does it really help you find y? No, it doesn't. What is something that could incorporate, and always does incorporate 3 points? The midpoint formula always incorporates 3 points, because the midpoint formula says that the midpoint, which you could call x, y, I'm not going to because that makes it confusing, you could call the midpoint a, b, is equal to x1 plus x2 2 over y1 by 2 or 2. So what's the midpoint in this example? It's negative 4, 2, isn't it? Alright, so we can go negative, well, we don't actually know, to be honest. Yes, we do, because we know it's the center of the circle, and we know these are the diameter ends. Right, these are the ends of the diameter, which means a line passes through them. The circle actually lies on them, so they've got to be opposite this. So we know that negative 4, 2 is actually the midpoint, so that's going to equal 2 plus x, 1, 2, and 6 plus 1, 2. So that's the formula. I said this is x1, this is y1, this is x2, this is y2. And I'm just going to set that in the formula. So then I get -4 is the x-coordinate of the midpoint, which is actually equal to this. So I'm going to get -4 equals 2 plus x on 2. So -8 equals 2 plus x. So x actually is equal to -8 take 2, which equals -10. Alright. 2 is going to equal 6 plus y on 2. So 12 is going to equal 6 plus y. So y is going to equal 6. Alright. So that's how we do that one. Cool. Nice. Erase all ink. Alright. The line passing through 3, -3. Again, what are you going to do? First thing, you're going to draw a diagram. And even these nice, pretty pictures. No. Alright. So we've got 3, -3. And A5. Where's that? Somewhere. And it's got a slope. Got a slope. It's probably a pretty big, massive hint that you are meant to use the slope formula, so please use it. Alright. 3, -3. It's got the slope. It's told you the slope. The slope is equal to -2/7. Now remember the slope formula? It equals y over 1, which is y2 over 1 over x2 over x1. Alright? So we're just going to sub in. We're going to call one of these x1, y1, and one of these x2, y2. Again, it doesn't really matter. Consistency is the important thing, not what they're called. So y2 take y1 is going to be -3 take 5. I'll try and do this a bit neater. x2 take x1 is 3 take a. Alright? And the slope equals -2/7, so we can say that -2/7. Now you can just multiply 3 take a up to there, so you get -2 outside of 3 take a. Multiply that on both sides by 3 take a. On both sides by 3 take a. So of course 3 take a cancels. And you could fit that over 7. I'm just doing a few more steps. Don't have to do it in this many. -3 take 5 of course is -8. Just split that. Oh, -3 take 5 is -8. Alright. And then I can multiply both sides by 7. So if you don't mind, I'm going to do it over here. -2 outside 3 take a equals -56. Alright. So 2 outside of 3 take a equals 56. 6 take 2a equals 56. So now we can just do the arbitrary. Alright, and get a on its own, which you can do, but might as well do it. 56 take 6 equals 50, so a equals 50 divided by -2. And then if this is going too fast, put it on a slower speed. Alright? And I'm actually being serious. Put it on a slower speed. Pause it, write notes, etc. Alright, that's question 1. We've only got 4 to go. Find the value of b. Question 2. Find the value of b given that the points 3b, 4, 2b, and 8, 5, -b are collinear. What does collinear mean? It means they lie on the same line. Alright? You've got 3 points. What do you know about the slope between these points? What do you know about the slope between these points? Alright? So I've got 3b. I'm not going to do fully worked solutions for the rest. I'm going to put up a video where Anne has done that. Or Mrs. McDonald, I should say. Collinear means that they lie on the same line. I'm just going to tell you sort of how to get going. They lie on the same line. So what do you know about this line and that line? They have the same. Now this looks like midpoint, but it doesn't tell you anything about the midpoint, so please do not do midpoint formula. You do not know that this lies in the middle. You know though that these are on the same line, therefore they have the same slope. You're right, this line segment and this line segment have the same slope. Alright? So what you can do is slope between 8 and 5 take b and 4 and 2b. Right? 1, 2, find the slope between 4, 2b, 3b. And finally,